Thank you, Congressman Wilson, for leading this special order on the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. And I will agree with you. The Lord has blessed me with living in one of the most beautiful places in the world, the 5th District of North Carolina, and I am very, very grateful for it. You know, last week, Tax Day was for once an occasion to celebrate, because this was the last time Americans filed under the broken 32-year-old tax code. Next tax season, they'll file under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act passed by this Congress last December. Across the 5th District of North Carolina, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act has already relieved North Carolinians who are cashing bigger paychecks and benefiting from the country's lowest unemployment rate since 2000. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, North Carolina added 9,000 jobs this February alone. And thanks to lower rates for individuals and small businesses under the new code, North Carolinians are keeping more of their hard-earned money. And as you point out, Congressman Wilson, it's their money, not the government's money. This year, married couples in the 5th District who take the new standard deduction could receive a tax cut to the tune of $1,834. For the over 52,000 taxpayers of the 5th District who have small business income, these tax savings are not crumbs, as my colleagues on the other side of the aisle falsely assert. A restaurant owner in Mount Airy recently told me that allowing immediate capital expensing under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act empowered her to purchase a new $20,000 piece of equipment for her business. You spoke of the Business Roundtable. The Business Roundtable reports that 68% of business leaders similarly expect their capital spending in the next 6 months to be at its highest in 15 years. This increased purchasing power for the backbone of our economy is evidence that pro-growth tax cuts work. Continued growth is also expected by the Budget Office. The CBO estimates for every 0.1% increase in GDP, nearly $270 billion is added to revenue over 10 years. After years of malaise under the Obama administration, even modest increases in GDP growth caused by the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will substantially contribute to a leveling off of the deficit. And for the first time since 2008, the CBO's Budget and Economic Outlook revises upward economic potential for 2018. Under current conditions, it notes that 3.5% growth is possible. In further good news, 5th District businesses share this optimism and are investing more in their employees and communities. Just last week, as part of its initiative to invest in community health with its tax savings, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina gave $1 million to Winston-Salem State University's nursing school. North Carolina is projected to have the second nurse shortage in the nation. This investment will develop the 5th District's medical workforce and increase access to high-quality health care, especially in rural areas. This is just one of the many examples that illustrates how philanthropy is fostered and communities are developed when the government scales back. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased that House Republicans kept our promise to bring about more jobs, fair taxes, and bigger paychecks for hardworking Americans. But I'm more proud of the hardworking men and women in the 5th District who are seizing the opportunities unleashed by the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act to create wealth and serve their communities. Again, Congressman Wilson, I thank you for your leadership on this special order and for allowing us to correct the record that's been distorted about this bill and bring to the American people the facts about this wonderful Tax Cut and Jobs Act.